After pushing himself to the brink of exhaustion and nearly facing his end due to hypothermia, our hero Greeve has decided to make his way through the thick forest and cold temperatures towards his original homeland, the culture of the Driik. Welcome everybody, my name is Ryan and we are back with more Unreal World today. This is the Winter Challenge series and we're on episode 4 and we're jumping right back into it. So we are here with our hero. Oh, let's see, he has no more injuries left. Let's take a look at his physical profile. He's pretty middling overall, but for a Driik, he is a superstar. And that speed is really his key, because we're probably going to be doing most of our hunting using the old-fashioned perseverance or exhaustion hunting. There's a lot of attrition hunting, you can call it, many different ways, but it's a true-to-life hunting method that our very own ancestors used for hundreds, if not thousands of years in prehistory. But so far, we are focused on travel. We don't have much to eat, just some sweet flowers, so let's consume what's left of those. We are cold, so we're trying to warm up a little bit, and it being early afternoon, it's probably a little too early to go to sleep, so we've established a bit of a shelter here. This is just a midway point between, let's go to the actual map. Yeah, between our original little campsite, which is over here. I think this is the one we've got a little bit of meat being prepared, but we're going to set up another one here, and the eventual goal is to get into the cultural territory of the Driik, where we can do some hunting and hopefully some trading too. But like I said, I'm just going to stockpile a little bit of firewood in this particular campsite until he's ready to go to sleep, and then in the morning, when hopefully the warmth of the sun will give us a little bit of an advantage, we're going to start our travels once again. Starvation has once again set in, and Greeve is feeling the pinch for sure, but he is just now vigorous and awake. We are in the small hours of the morning. Last night we spent a little bit of time before the sun went down picking some berries, so we're going to fill his belly, but as I pointed out before, the berries and weeds and leaves and stuff that he can eat, just don't cut it. He really needs meat to survive. But you can see we barely pulled ourselves out of malnourishment, or out of starvation into malnourishment. Won't last forever though, so let's see. This hour of the night, yeah, it's still very cold. I think I might try and pass a little bit of time. Let's head out and see if we can pick some more berries over here. We don't know what they are, but for any new players, and again, I've done tutorials on this type of subject before, the different berries and whatnot, but all berries are edible. There are no poisonous berries in the Unreal World, unless at some point he adds them, but up to this point, no poisonous berries. Mushrooms, yes. There's definitely poisonous plants and herbs, so make sure before you do any of those things, you know what they are, and you've got a good knowledge. But berries are always safe, so yeah, and this will help pass a bit of time. Let's see, small hours of the morning. Yeah, I'm going to scour a bit more of these berry bushes here. Try and stay zoomed out too while I do this. That way if any elk or a deer herd were to peek in sight, we would be able to see them at the edge of the screen. Whereas when I'm zoomed in like this, yeah, we could literally have like a deer up here, but I wouldn't know it unless we have full visibility. And speaking of maximum visibility, we are now on the world map, the overworld map, I guess I should call it, and we're traveling. Yeah, you can see the hunger bar is shooting up, because of course every square we travel is equal, I think, to 10 on the regular map, or 100 yards basically. So yeah, time is accelerated when we're traveling. That's why it's so important to keep an eye on your warmth. And, nutrition levels are important, but this will kill you much quicker than starvation. Starvation in this game is very realistic. You've got a good 2 or 3 weeks in-game time before you would perish from, not eating anything. But it is going to affect your physical performance too, just like real-world starvation is. So if you get to the point where you're about 2-3 weeks in, you could technically go out and still get food, but you're going to be severely handicapped in what you can do. But let's take a look at the over map here, the big map. Alright, we're officially in Driik. Now it's important, of course, we've got to actually discover some of their villages. Oh, but I just noticed, see, I was talking away and almost missed it. We're officially cold. So that is the point where I always stop. We're not on the cusp of death right now, but we're getting closer for sure. So let's knock down a few branches and we'll get a fire going. Oh yeah, now we're bitterly cold. See, it's starting to get dangerous here, so we'll zoom in, because even if there was a deer nearby, I couldn't go after it. We'd still have to build this fire. Alright, so we've got everything we need. I'm going to push those together. Now, building a fire does take time. So if you're literally like freezing to death and you're trying to start the fire, you might not make it. But okay, we've done it. We've got a roaring fire going. Let's just pass time. I don't want to actually sleep, because then we'll lose most of the day. But yeah, if we just pass. Okay, now you can see we're sweaty again. So we'll leave the fire burning. It's not in any danger of spreading. Nothing nearby. Okay, let's continue our travels westward. Yes, and at this point in the winter, the ice is still not solid enough for us to travel on safely. Alright, we're getting chilly again. Boy, if we could just happen across some sort of village, we'd be able to warm up, but oh no. I think we're weary, chilly, it might be best, although I was really hoping to find a village. Yeah, we might have to go ahead and just set up a big fire and hope that it doesn't rain or something, and we can just sleep the night next to this fire. Alright, we'll zoom in again. Same process. Get it lit. Actually, let's move it. I'm going to move it over next to one of these small trees, just so if we need more branches or something, I can spend time cutting that down. Whoa, Coach, time out. We got to take a break to recognize my Patreons. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. It means the world to me. And now back to the game. I'll see you guys on Discord. The sun has not yet come over the horizon here, but it is early morning in the dead month of winter, and we have stumbled across our very first village here, in the friendly Driik. Yeah, and I've mentioned it, I think, during World Generation in our very first episode, but if you're new, all of the cultures are friendly. You can freely pass and trade with them, except for the purple, the Ner peasant here. You can see they're separated too. Now, of course, if you go into one of these people's cultures and start attacking them, you'll turn them hostile. But yeah, these are the only permanently hostile people that you start the game against. But let's zoom out again. Oh, look at this. They've got a nice little pin with some cows and a bull. Excellent. So we're definitely going to want to get ourselves acquainted with the local villagers. They will get to know us. They'll remember our names if we introduce ourselves. Eventually, if we come back often enough and we keep things honest and we trade with them well, they'll get to like us better and they'll give us quests and stuff. So we're probably going to have to stick around this area for the next couple of weeks, at least until we've got some gear and we can travel better. But anyway, let's talk to this fine-looking gentleman here. So we'll greet him, and I'm going to go through these we'll start, slow, but then, after this, all the dialogue's going to flash by the screen real quick. Most of it is pretty standard and just, boilerplate until you get to some of the questing or trading things. But, alright, again, I just want to introduce myself. I'm going to ask him how he's doing. Who are you? Now we'll go back using 0 to the main chat selection here. One of the things I want to find out is if this village sells any animals. So I'm going to go to buy an animal. And because it's important to note, just because you see animals there doesn't mean they're going to be willing to sell those. If they only have a couple, they're going to keep them. And it's also good to know, for instance, they have cows, but they don't have a bull. So that sucks. But they do have a dog for sale, so that's pretty huge. Now, you might be saying, why are you asking them this? You can't afford this. True, I can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out to the world map and we're going to leave a note here. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to leave myself a note telling me there's cows and a dog here. And we can save that. And of course, we can come back in here too and add more stuff to it. Sometimes if I find like a masterwork tool or piece of armor I might want to come back for once I get wealthier, then I'll leave that note here too. But of course, we need to explore the village a bit more before we determine that, don't we? So we introduced ourselves to this guy. Now, I'll tell you too, in terms of questing, you will know immediately if there's a quest in a village, because every person is going to direct you towards that quest giver, and that will you should be able to find him relatively easily. But all right, and yeah, we don't have anything to trade. We don't really want to. We can also hire people, which is amazing, and we will do that eventually. But again, we need a bit more wealth. So it's good that we found a place with civilization. Look at all these folks. Let's see if we can chat with this guy. Yep, again, we'll just greet him. Boom. I go through the options. Greet this fellow here. And its name's Jane. There we are. And they'll all, of course, they all sell the same animals too. So it's a village-wide thing when they're selling or trading. Yeah, let's greet this guy. It might be, yeah, he's their sage. Awesome. Read. Okay. Now this guy can heal us, potentially. Ask for help. Oh yeah, we can also ask for directions. Yeah, we should do that actually. Let's see. Yeah, we're not sick, so I think he would automatically offer to heal us if we were sick, but we're not. We're in good shape. Let's ask about a blacksmith. No, but there are no blacksmiths around. You will have to ask elsewhere. Okay, so not a big deal, but blacksmiths are pretty cool. I won't go into too much of their mechanics or how you trade with them now until we meet one, but yeah, they can be very, very helpful. All right, let's greet this fella. Hello. Okay, and yeah, I'm going to continue to meet and greet all the NPCs. You don't have to worry about the kids, but females are helpful at times for sure, too. Although I've had people ask me in the past, and no, unfortunately, you can't recruit a female. I've never been able to do it. And they're not permanent when you do recruit, even like the males. So you can't like start your own settlement out there in the wilds, unfortunately. It would be cool if you could, but not yet, at least in this version of the game. Now this is interesting. I'm just here in a second Driik village, chatting up some of the villagers, looking at their gear, but still nothing to trade with. Yet, this man here knows of a cave in the northwest at the region called Kolu Summit. It's about 6 miles away to the northwest. What do you say we head over there? Yeah, they've got some sheep down here in their little pen, but they won't trade it to me. So, I mean, like I said, it happens. Now, let's see. Do they have the fire lit? Yeah, we should probably warm up a bit. This place, the best that I've seen so far was just a broad axe. Boy, it's not warming up. It's weird. Maybe we need a bigger fire. Or should I close the door? There we go. It's got comfortably warm. That's good enough. I think the sun's come up a bit better, so let's head northwest. Oh, we got to kind of move away from all the people when we want to exit. Okay. All right. Northwest. It should automatically pop up on the overmap once we see it. But yeah, we need to uncover it here. We still have to be very careful about our temperature. Also looking for more villages at the same time. Not to mention some good hunting ground would be really great to find. Alright. Still moving northwest. We're chilly. Physical performance is getting worse. Okay, now we're officially cold. So we'll pull up next to this little body of water, get a roaring fire started. And isn't it nice over here? It's always great when you can build a big fire. But unfortunately, we don't have any food to roast over yet. Although we still have one little berry, so we'll just eat that to get it out of the inventory. Alright, let's warm up a bit. We're sweaty again. And we must continue the search. Let's check the map. Okay, no caves yet. I hope that guy wasn't lying to me. No. Oh, here's a hill. Oh, that's helpful. Oh, yeah. So we can see the mountains, the little gray splotches. I don't see a cave yet, though. Well, 6 miles is a bit farther than I anticipated, but let me look one more time. Yeah, it's also interesting we haven't found another village yet. But there's 3 right there. We'll probably see more for sure, but let's be careful. Move, move, move. Oh, there it is. A cave. No, I'm sorry, it's a settlement. Oh, another settlement has come into view. Okay. There we go. And another one. Yeah, some of these richer cultures, you'll see pretty densely populated areas. There's 2 villages right next to each other. I'd love to go spend time introducing myself and checking out all the goods that these folks have, but it does take time to do that, and of course we're starving. Yeah, look at this. God, there's like 5 or 6 villages all right next to each other. This is going to be prime trading ground, but I don't love the looks of it in terms of hunting. Yeah, it's way too densely forested, so whoops, we're going to have to look around a bit more. We might want to retreat back to this area here. Yeah, if we can remove the cultural boundaries, you can see this around these lakes. The darker green, that indicates like flat and treeless area, so that's more or less what we're looking for. Yeah, we might have to loop around and head back that way. In fact, I think we'll do that. Of course, stopping for anything interesting. Oh, did we actually see the cave? Not yet, but it must be up there a little bit. That's okay. Cave's only valuable to us if it's in a really nice area, like I say. We could use it as a shelter on the go, and we just might at some point, but for now, we need to find a better area where we can set up a permanent camp. Zooming into a new area, it's always possible that we encounter something unwanted, but this seems like a peaceful area for us to set up our first camp in the Driik territory itself. Yes, yes, yes. So we'll zoom in here. It's early morning. If we get this done with enough time left, we might be able to do some hunting in the area too. Open up the map a bit. So let's fell this tree. Beautiful. I did, in fact, get some of the branches already, so I think we're set. Let's move it a little closer. I always like to put my shelter directly next to a tree, whether it's small or large. Just allows us to get branches while we're standing in our shelter, staying warm if we need them. Alright, let's build the shelter. There we go. Yes, and of course our man Greeve is a fairly good builder, so it doesn't take him too long. Although he is bitterly cold. Let's drop this. Yeah, of course, it's just the nature of the temperature out right now. Let's rest a bit. We're going to move and start this fire, because we haven't quite gotten the shelter finished. We want that. There we go. Okay, we'll get a nice warming fire. And let's rest again. A full proper rest in. Now we can do the shelter complete. It's not much time left. Yeah, another half an hour and we've done it. All right. But we are extremely tired and it's noon. Unfortunately, when you sleep, you just sleep for a full duration. But you can't interrupt your sleep, in other words. But the good news is, since we're starving, we didn't sleep for very long. It's still afternoon, and we were able to get our vigor up at least a little bit. So, tell you what, let's stand up. We're going to come break the ice over here, get ourselves a little bit of a drink. And like I said, we'll try to hunt a bit. We've got to get it, even though we're not in very good shape, we're tired. We've got to be able to do this before we get really bad physically. Alright, so you can see, if we take a look at the world map, we're just north. There's that first village where we saw the cows right there. Yeah, there's that one. Here's the big cluster, so... Oh, look at this. Oh no, that's my shelter. I thought that was a cave marker for a second. The caves are white triangles. Whoopsie. Yeah, I'll put a red X on our spot too, but... it's going to be a short excursion. Yeah, more or less just to open up some of this territory. Yep. Okay, we're extremely tired and cool. It's not life-threatening, but let's go ahead and put the mark on there. I'm going to start changing the color. We'll do blue up here. How about that? We'll say Camp 1. Even though we already have a Camp 1, this will be Camp 1 in the Driik of the blue stars. Alright, let's go. Of the blue X's. And zoom back in. Whew, I probably need to get a bit more firewood here. Yeah, so like I said, we can get some branches for kindling. Let's see if we can knock down this small tree before we drop. Whoops. Nope, didn't quite manage it. Let's go back into the shelter. And see if we can probably still sleep without freezing. Yeah, we're in our shelter. We did okay. Again, though, we woke up because we don't have anything on our bellies. So let's finish this one off. Okay, I'm going to move this wood. All right. Get the fire started. Now we'll sleep. In this situation where I want him to rest for a full stretch, I just have to force him to keep laying down. Yeah, imagine yourself starving to death and you trying to sleep. You're just going to continually toss and turn. Maybe you'll catch, an hour here or there, but it's going to be a rough night. Unfortunately, that's what our man Greeve just went through. But it is early morning. A new day has dawned. Let's see if the spirit world will be any better for us today. Also, hopefully the real world delivers something. Alright, so we are getting cool again. Now the good news is, let's see, we aren't super far from a village, so if we beeline straight towards the village, we can probably warm up there, but alternately, it's not a bad idea to set up some more camps in the region. Oh, a badger. Well, two things about this situation. We're cold, so if we start pursuing this, it's just going to get worse and worse and could put us in a life-threatening situation. And number two, we're in a forested area right now, just on the edge, but we're still in it. So tracking a badger, especially even large game, is difficult through the forest. A badger, that's a no-go. All right, let's make sure we're on track. Heading straight. Oh, there's a foreign trader right there. See the blue cloaks? That's interesting. One right next to the village. They don't necessarily have to be next to the villages, but okay. We've got a bit of a spring over here. That's helpful. We don't have to break the water. We can just drink from it. And let's find one of these village places that has a fireplace that we can go warm up. Whew, here we go. All right, close the door behind us. We are cold. Let's just spend a little bit of time. It feels like it's harder to get warmed up here by these fireplaces as opposed to like one of the big roaring fires that we set ourselves. Yeah. I think from now on we're going to set up a couple campsites around. I mean, that was at least enough to save my life if it was that bad, but yeah, we need to establish our own little fire pit. We find ourselves bitterly cold once again, attempting to start a fire. There we go. And while we do a little bit of warming up, let's create a shelter here. Very good, very good. It's early afternoon. This is going to be taking a lot of energy out of us, so this is kind of good. Let's see here. All right, we need to rest a bit. There we go. And we're weary. Can we finish this possibly? Let's see. I think we want to just do that command. There we go. Oh no, extremely tired. Let's push a little bit of this wood. Oh, we just dropped. We woke up. The fire went out. Alright, that's not good. We'll just light whatever's here in this pile. There we go. And let's try to get this shelter done now. How much is left? Oh, good. Phew, just a couple of... Yeah, not much. We've done it. There is some water nearby here, so we can break that hole real quick. Very good. And, of course, our shelter will keep us warm. Fortunately, still no food, but if we flash forward to the morning real quick... There we go, and let's zoom out. Boom. So when I picked this spot... There happened to be just an absolute ton of heather here. That's this stuff, this sweet flower. And there's actually some cranberries, too. It's hard to see them. Yeah, that's these little speckles. And these cranberry bushes will stay ready and ripe pretty deep into the winter. Not into the absolute latest parts of winter, but yeah, cranberries are great at this time of the year. But once again, we absolutely must have some meat. So this is just to tide us over, allow us to get a good rest, sleep through the night, prevent a little bit of the starvation that we know is coming. But man, oh man, I tell you what, guys, it's often not the most exciting thing trying to survive in these hellish conditions. It's a lot of just drudgery, repetition, and patience. But once we get to the exciting parts, the hunts, especially the successful ones, it's extremely gratifying. So thank you for joining me for this episode. We've definitely made progress. Just establishing these shelters is a big step. And the next one is to get another kill under our belt. So hopefully we'll see that in the next episode. Tune in for it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.